Hey all, welcome back to Operation Exploration. So, the last episode was beginning creating the uh-oh, nearly fell there. The last episode was beginning to create the industry room, and I have got it fully built. Although there is some improvements I would like to make to it, but I do know that the end of the video was a wee bit like stuttery. It's because the computer that I'm recording of doesn't have that good of a graphics card, and it's not really for gaming. It's more for work. But it does like record. It's just the software I was using to do the recording was a bit well, bad. It was OBS, and from the reviews online, it is known to be very sort of juddery. But I have moved on to using Bandicam, and I'm going to try that out and see how that goes. And the wee fella that we used to do the recording is this guy here. So that's my second account. Just give a wave. There we are. So I just use this character here to do the recordings. So I just what I do is there's actually a seat in here. So then maintains like, oh no, not in here. There's a seat there that he just sits on, and that just keeps the energy levels tapped up. And let me see, I'll just turn it around. There we are. Get into the chair. And then what I do is I put it on to spectator mode, and like fly to various points and record. Now it has been a wee bit juddery, although looking at this other screen, let me see if I can turn this wee camera around so you can actually see it. Can you? Will it actually allow me to see it without having to? No, it doesn't. I thought what would happen was it would there we go, put this back in the middle. Thought it would show, but it doesn't. It blocks out all the other stuff. I'd have to turn the camera settings off to show the what I can see. But basically the laptop here beside me is showing about 30 frames. There's a frame counter on the top left, and it's showing an average of 31 frames, and it does drop. The lowest that it has dropped to so far is 11. But in a time lapse you won't notice that, because time lapse are sped up to about, like, say 10 times. So if you're getting 11 frames per second and you're sped up 10 times, then that's practically 300 frames per second, and you won't notice it. After like 60 frames it's very hard to notice frame drops, though time lapses you kind of do in some ways. But anyway, other than that, let's go down and explore the new operations room. Well, not operations room, but more the industry room. It's over here. I've knocked out a window just so it's easy to get in and out, and I had a wee welding ship going here, so there's that. So this is what it looks like here. In the build video it just finished up where it had finished welding. So at the moment we have bit of stutter. At the moment we have 4 rows of assemblers, each of them consisting of 10 assemblers, so we've got 40. A lot of assemblers, but yeah, it's pretty much needed. And over here on this side we have 4 sets of refinery, and if I remember right, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's 10 of them. Same as the assemblers. There's 10. So there's 40 refineries going as well. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, must be a miss. Yeah, that's it. Must be a meteor. That's alright. Must be a meteor there. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What is going on? I need to check over that video again. I can't remember if there was a warning for asteroids, but I don't see anything else flying about, so yeah, I think we're okay. Popping out of that wee hole there like a meerkat. I need to have like a wee proper what way to describe it? If you mention like a pole and camera on it, but the camera can rotate around, something like that would be handy. Although, pan, tilt and zoom mod for the camera. I've been meaning to get that for a while now. That'd be kind of cool. There's a mod you can get where you can like it's PTZ, otherwise known as pan, tilt, and zoom. So you can pan the camera around, zoom, and pan, tilt. Yeah, pan, tilt, and zoom. Yeah. So it's a good mod. I have had it before, and it allows you to, instead of like static, just looking in one direction when the camera's looking, it allows you to pan about and zoom, which is pretty good. It's good for like when you're flying like remote trips, and we'll need it for the rover mission that we're doing up on the moon. So we have what was it, 13 I counted? 13 engines, and there is, well, there's actually, they're double. There's 26 engines and 26 batteries, so one engine is doing one battery. And on the back we have 2, 4, 6, 8 hydrogen tanks, and the 8 hydrogen tanks power these engines. It's a wee bit overkill, but it's pretty much needed. Now, one of the ideas that I did think about, and this is where I'm going to use sketches to describe the idea a wee bit more better, but basically what... Okay, there's I see there's some sort of enemy closing in there, coming sort of directly towards us. We need to keep an eye on things here. Right, so it is slowing down, so it's not going to get within a kilometre, so we're okay. Right, let's go back down and get into it. So basically one of the ideas that I was thinking of was, and it's one of these ideas, you know, when you wake up and you're just sitting in bed and you're like dazing, or like not dazing, but you're daydreaming about different things. One of the ideas that came across my it was this, where we have 26 engines. Now what we do is we put them into what's known as an array. So again, this is where the illustrations will come in. So there are 26 engines. What we want to do is we want to set up an array where we split them off into different groups. So if you imagine 2, and then you have 4, 8 and 16, kind of like a computer system. So what happens is when the base is at max power, we want to keep, say, 2 engines running or 4 engines running, so we switch the array to 2 or 4. If we're running low on energy, we switch them on to max, and that's where we throw them all on. Or say, for example, we are halfway between empty and halfway between full, we switch them to half array, where only half the engines run, which would be 13. And the idea of that is that we're not using up more hydrogen than we need, and we're not like wasting resources. Now what I forgot to mention is that under those engines is there are two O2 generators per engine under there, I think. Let me see, am I getting mixed up? Maybe it's only one. Sorry, there's only one. Yeah, so there's one per engine. There is one O2 generator per engine, so that means that there are 26 O2 generators. Now, the way the array would work is that each array will control the engine and the O2 generator. So it's going to mean having to set up various groups. It's going to mean setting up timer blocks, control panels, etc, etc. Now one of the ideas I thought which would actually make this kind of interesting is that if you imagine in front of us there is a rotor that goes into a small rotor, so it turns into like small grid. This is where you put your timer blocks on, and on it have various buttons. Now above each button is like an indication light, or an indication lamp is what is known in control panel terms. So when you click each button, the corresponding light comes on, and what that would do is that it will indicate what array is currently on and what mode the generators are on. Now I could do this with a script, and I would like to do it through a script where you just click buttons and the script does the rest, it controls all the groups, etc. But it'd be interesting with timer blocks, and I don't know, maybe eventually we'd try and make a script for it. Scripts aren't that hard to make. I might do a tutorial on it, but I think it'd be more fun with timer blocks, and I think timer blocks would eliminate half the hassle you get from scripts. But for visual terms, timer blocks would be better. And also for people that want to stay away from scripts and use timer blocks, it's a good wee tutorial for you as well. But the idea is, I'm thinking of having like 4 different arrays. So there are 26 engines, so if you have that, that's 13. So we've got 13 and 26, that'd be 2 arrays. So if you only wanted half them going on, you have 13 coming on. If you want a full array going on, all 26 come on. Now, because it would have been better if there was 32, because that way you split them down, you half it, so you have an array of, say, first array is 32 on, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1, etc. But what I want for this is that, because there is 26, it'll be 4, 8, 16, and then the max 26, and that's the array. So you see, 4, 8, 16, 26, yeah, that's 4 array. So we need 4 in, let me see now, we need 4 buttons to turn each array. 2, do we need 2 timer blocks? We need 4 timer blocks. I thought it was going to be like 2 timer blocks per array, but it's only 1 if you think about it. 1 timer block per array. So what happens is, it's a switch case. It's whenever you have one button pressed, it'll tell the others to turn off and only concentrate on this one, and same with the other ones. And that will switch the various engines and O2 generators on and off. Now, I did think of it before. Do we want the array to switch off the O2 generators as well? Because if you imagine, you'll get the scenario where you could be very, very low on hydrogen, but you're very, very high on power. You know, you don't need to run it, and so you might want to run all your O2 generators at once. So I'm thinking maybe we have 2 sets. We have 2 control panels. So one side does the engines and the other side does the O2 generators. So I think that'd be the best option. It gives us more like feel of control, you know, like an industry room. This isn't complete. There is a ceiling in here. Although I did think now it kind of did look cool with the voxels in here, but I'd rather square it off to about that ceiling height. And I'm thinking I might as well just continue going up, because up there is going to be the control room, so eventually I'll need to dig it. But what I'm going to try and see is if I can get a large grid drill on a small grid ship and do that. So yeah, let's get underway with that. I'm going to create, I probably should have done this in creative mode first, when I tested that. Anyway, to hell with it, we're just going to do it. We're going to go all out and create that here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a time lapse of me making it, and at the end, when it's all working, I'll do a demonstration. Okay, and now do we have the resources? Okay, so that's that added into the panel. I should have actually created all this on the one grid, so like one rotor under here and then separate off the 2, but yeah, what I've done is I've just kept the 3 rotors and put blast doors in between, because they were starting to sort of jiggle and, you know, clang, so I wasn't taking any risks. And it kind of looks better. It does look like it's part of the floor now. Although I probably should have done blast doors the whole way around. It looks a lot better than that. Oh well. So yeah, we have the array set up for the engines. We have an array set up for the O2 generators, although that's not going to be the case right now. They're just static, so let's oh, I have no sound set up on that, it's okay. And for the middle one, these are going to be doing the assemblers, so this is just binary on and off for the both things. So if we turn on the assemblers and then we go over, we check, there's them on, so now we go back over and turn it off. Check again, and it's off. And it's the same with the refinery. Simple on and off. It's on, and go back over, turn it off. Off. There we go. Nice setup. So that's just using timer blocks. These are just binary, it's just no on and off. Whereas these here, they more or less run a lot more functions. So that's what it looks like from the back, and each timer block is renamed appropriately. You can see there TVHE1, so there's different naming conventions for each. You can sort of figure out yourself why it's that. So for example, this one here, if I was to read that on the panel, I know that's timer block, O2 generators, timer block number 1. So if I need to make changes to that, I know which one to change. And then of course with build vision, it makes it much easier as well. As I said earlier on, the engines are all renamed. So on this here side is the odd side, and on this side is the even side. So say for example, if we wanted to go for a 2-to-1 ratio with engines, so 2 engines, let's say like half the engines on or half the engines off, what we do is we just go for the even ones, change them, etc, etc. So that's pretty much it for the control panel. I'm actually very happy with that. It didn't take too long. I thought I'd have to like mess about with it, especially in creative mode, but yeah, I'm very happy with that, and it does exactly what we want. So for this one here, let's do this one here. So what that one does is that's just turning on the 4 engines, so that's array number 1. Array number 2 turns on 8 engines, there we go. Array number 3, the 16 engines, and array number 4, all engines. Now if we check here, we can see that there it is, fully recharged. That was quick. Now we don't need to run anything else more, so let's turn on. So that's array number 1 on. Let's just see how that looks. Okay, fully played it in 2 days. Okay, so switching in and out there between 2 days, but those 4 engines right now, everything is turned off. The assemblers, the refinery is turned off. There is a few things charging, and this here is charging as well, although it does look maxed out. So the only thing they'd be running would be other like resources, but once we get like things like antennas and different things like that set up, it's going to be a lot more different. It'll be using a lot more electricity. So I'm happy enough with that setup. We do need to get those hydrogen. I just realised. What's keeping everything powered? Because I got rid of the hydrogen tank up on the hydrogen, O2, inventory, and O2. Oh, there's ice in them, that's okay. But it is going to run out eventually, so we need to get these here welded up. So what we'll do is, we can't bring that in here, so what I'll do is I'll build a builder on to one of these here and let that finish it off. So let's do that quickly. Here we go, builder. Actually, you know what, we'll put a set of builders in here, so it does no harm to have them, just for like repairs and that. So where can we stick that on? That's an existing conveyor system. That's only temporary, I needed that whenever I was building this. Where can we put that where it's not out of place? It's just a shame there's no conveyor there. I put it on the back, happily enough. Let me see. For now, we'll put this here. is. Now let's change this one here. That's going to be on. We want it to wild only, and we want it to fly mode turned on. Oh, we could put the builders on the back of them. Now see, it's starting to fill there. That's good. So we'll let that work away. Very happy with that. So those engines are just chilling away there. So, yeah, I thought the array was a good enough idea. So if you do have basically loads of engines, it is something to think about. Just put like an array set up here, and what it'll do is it'll just turn on whenever you need. So say for example, oh, the base is running out of juice, let's quickly go and switch everything on. There we are, maxed out. Won't be long getting everything charged up, but that's not needed, so let's turn on just the 4. Now we need to remember about this. Whenever the base is low on juice and we start charging a bunch of stuff up, it's going to start running out really quickly, but again, just a simple activation of the timer block and there it goes on.
Storm inbound.
Okay, there's a meteor storm inbound, so we'll probably get a load of lights flashing now in a second. Have a look. I don't hear anything yet. It'll be a while anyway, it usually does. So that's everything running away there. Let's keep an eye on this builder and see how it is doing. Okay, it looks like it's built everything. Oh. Is the doors closing? No, because there wasn't on long enough. But look at the state of that floor. Yes, which reminds me, I need to get that projector block for the base back in. It'll probably go in here, somewhere safe. I won't put it out here because if something does come down at speed, it'll only wipe it out. We want that the base can be welded back up swiftly. So what I'll probably do is probably add the projector block on the back of this here. Now I think that's not dead in the middle, but that's the whole middle of the base, no line of symmetry. So we'll probably put the projector in between there. But this room is actually pretty symmetrical, which was done by accident, so it was. If we look down here, see that there's a block, so it's like a walkway if you imagine. I probably will eventually put some, what do you call it? Catwalks, that's it. Might put some catwalks around. And then out here, there is another line. Now, I did say that was symmetrical. I need to put blocks along here, and then that would give that quickly add them. This room doesn't need to be any longer than it is. If we do need to expand out, which we probably won't yet, because we've got so many things in here, it's just that's really weird. I just heard like a bird screaming outside. Oh, I do like that. That's kind of cool. See, there's like a green tint. Oh, what if we done the industrial room in like a sort of green tint? Although it'll probably distract us from this here. I'd say we can go for like what color scheme? The color scheme that I use for the things in this series is kind of like a blue, that like colour there. So what we'll do is we'll probably like put like a blue tint in here, although this roof has to be mined out completely, excavated, and then put a roof on, and we put some like dim lights in it, not bright white lights like these here lights. They're not white, they're actually toned down to like if you ever had, the old fluorescent tubes in your house or in your shed, there was like a warm white is what it's called, a glow off them, and that's what I've gone for here, because white or bright white as it's called, it's too industrial looking or something. It's not warm. Like this here's like a nice warm feeling to the base. It looks like a proper office or something. And then of course these blocks, I don't really like the texture on them, so let's mess about with some textures quickly. Oh, we have 6, let's do that. So what will we go for? What do we have? What does this here look like? No, I don't like that. That's nice for ships, but not for what we need. Is there a smooth, clean armor? What does that look like? I do like that. Now, what I might do is I might actually cover the whole base in this colour, because it'll take too long to do everything else. Like, all this here has to be changed, and I know I did do some colouring schemes down at the front tunnel, but yeah, it doesn't even take that long, so let's do that. No, I'd actually do that wrong. How did I do that wrong? No, it's this one here. Shift B. Control Shift. Now, it takes a while. What happened there? There we go. That's kind of cool, isn't it? Although it kind of looks like Minecraft. I don't really like that. No, let's change it to something else. What else? What we got? Battled armor. What does that look like? No. What else have we got? Concrete armor. No. Camu. Dust. Frozen armor. What's that? Retro future. I kind of like these ones. Let's try that one. What does that look like? I do like that. Let's try this one. That's kind of good for like plating silver armor. Oh, wrong one. What else we have?
Energy low.
Wood floor. Disco armor. I kind of like this one here. Let's go with this. Or maybe not. I can't remember what one was the sci-fi armor that was. No, it wasn't. It was this one. Nice. There we go. Oh, that's weird. That's really weird. And it's actually kind of messing with my frames a bit. I don't like that. That's very... what's the word? I can only think of weird. Like, you can see all the lights. No, I don't like that. It's kind of cool though. That'd be nice for like some sort of a ship. You know, like an exterior of a ship. A spaceship. Yeah, let's take note of that. A mental note of that. To add this here to a spaceship of some sort. Sure, even a rover and our moon base can be this. That's kind of cool. Like, what's this? That's actually kind of... Oh, that's cool. It's like a mirror. Yeah, it's just it doesn't suit this one here, so let's go to something else. Battle armor. No, we didn't want that. That's the retro future one. Sci-fi armor. Let's try the sci-fi armor again. Let's see what that looks like. I just hear a piston opening and closing every time. I don't even think there is any pistons about. Nah, let's see. It's hard to say how good that is. I don't really like it, no. That looks like a jacuzzi jet. I remember jacuzzi jets used to always put your finger in the jet and see how long you could hold it in for. And I remember one time I was put it in like into the jet like kind of too far and I twisted my finger in some way and couldn't get it out and I panicked. I just sat there on the side of the swimming pool and I was just like, and I was trying to rig it out, but eventually came out. It got like wedged in behind the jet. It scared me. Weird stuff, but yeah, jacuzzi jet. Like, who hasn't done that? Who has never put their finger in a jacuzzi jet before? Let me try a different one. I don't think, is that all the skins? I thought I had more skins than that. Let's try the silver armor again. That must be a door below us doing that. Now that's done the same thing as the battle armor, it's just toned everything down. I don't like that either. Let's try the carbon fiber one. Oh. Oh! No. Reminds me of a hospital. I don't like that at all. It's like there's almost no detail or something to it. It's missing a lot of things. Oh, 'cause it's hard to decide what there is. Let's go back to none again. You know something? Okay, it's rubbish. It looks rubbish. It looks like as if the walls are peeling. I don't want that. This probably looks weird. Looks like camouflage. Is there actually a camouflage one there? I think there is. That's terrible looking. That's awful. Looks like somebody went mad with like different colours of paint. I thought I had a camo one there. There's mossy. Digital camouflage. What does that look like? Do you know something? I kinda like that. Now the base is white. What would a different colour look like?
Energy low.
Let's get top in energy here before we go. And do I like that? I like these here. Conveyor blocks. They look really good with that on it. The colouring scheme. Yeah. Let's go with that. We might get used to it. If not, oh well. Let's see. So they're on. Kind of want to give them tanks that color. Let's give them what shade? I can't even see my own palette because my face is in the way here. What color would them tanks be? Let's go for some sort of a grey, like this one here. What does that look like? Yeah. Let's give the engines a bit of a more of a their color. Let's go. I hope I don't get JCB's color. Although JCB is a very distinctive color. It's like a bright yellow, and it's nowhere near that. We probably give them a different texture. Let me see. Let's do it on this one because I can't see. And let's go with this, turn that up. Now JCV's color is more of this. It's like there, let's go for that one. And there's no texture. Battle armor, clean armor, let's go with that. Does it look like a GCV? Yeah, let's go with that. Let's do the other ones in the back. Right, let's see what other colours we can go for in here. So the generators are yellow, JCB colour, because they're JCB engines. Now I'm actually kind of tempted to add like a label on the front of them saying JCB, but it's overkill and it'll take too long. The batteries can be... I kind of wish now I buried them batteries, because they're up, they're like sitting up out of the way, and I don't want that. So what colour will we do them? Let's leave them like that, not bother messing about with them. And for the refineries and for the assemblers, what colour should they be? Oh, that's kind of cool, I like that tint. But again, need to do this whole room. That's probably for a different time I'll do this room, but do I finish this room off? Or do we start with the control room? The control room wouldn't be far off what you're seeing here in terms of these panels, although the only difference is it'll be a chair, a bunch of screens, and what else? Yeah, that's all I can think of. The control room won't be as big as this room. This room is actually pretty much the width of the base. Actually, it's 2 blocks less than the width of this whole base. So if you imagine 1 block less from here to there, and 1 block here less from there to there, that's how big that room is.
Low.
Oh. I think what we should do is, I think we should finish off this room. Once we're done with this room, we can start with the mission room. And now the mission room can be somewhat like sort of smaller. It won't be as big as this. What's going on down here? I just thought I thought I'd seen something there. I wasn't welded properly. The control room will probably be like the width of those all dimensions, so it's like a wee tiny room. Yeah, because the control room doesn't need to be that big. In fact, the room could even be like the width of this here. Although, now here's an idea. How about for the control room, we do it the width from, like, if you imagine there to there, then like width of the room squared. And then, like, we have different areas where we have like small projections of, you know, like the wee small grid ships that we've done. So like things like you know, like the wee little builder and little welder, etc., little miner. We can have them popped up at various places, and like tables, you know, ones that are, oh, put them on a rotor and rotate them round. That'd be kind of cool. And then what we have is in the middle we have a chair or various chairs. And I do have these cockpit consoles. Now they'd be kind of cool. We have them set up, you know, make it look like as if, you know, it's NASA's mission control room. So like long layers, and then in front of a huge screen, various screens showing different things. I wonder if I could create my own images and import them into the game. There is a way of doing that. It's very complicated though, as far as I know, unless they may have made it easier since I've last done it. But we can do some things like pictures of the world, pictures of the base, a fake satellite view from yeah, fake satellite view of what it looks like from space, so it means I'm going to take a screenshot of the world. Satellite of some sort, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. And then like another screen just showing gobbledygook, such as like system analysis and loads of like text, and make it look like it's doing something. Although when you do have things like ISI solar alignment script running, it does a lot of stuff. No, there's like a load of text, so maybe we do that on one. But in NASA's mission control room, one of the screens is showing showing usually the trajectory of the International Space Station. So it's like you've got like if you imagine like the map of the world in net form but stretched out, and then you have the ISS route on it, something like that. Mechanical. Lots of ideas, lots and lots and lots of ideas. But I do think the width of the room idea was the best one. So, do you know something? We can leave this here for another day. That's not needed. We want to get straight into the missions because digging out rooms, it's boring and all. The clips are always sped up. I wouldn't put people through the pain and watch me dig these rooms out unless it was Twitch. For that reason, it'd be different. I'm not streaming Twitch right now, so yeah. Let's go upstairs. Actually, let's take the lift. Oh, the lift was there. Let's go to floor 3. Now I've forgotten how to color things like this in. So is this the middle? That's the middle. Yep. Oh. I was wondering what that noise was. So we have this pipe to deal with. Where does that pipe actually go? I can't remember. Nowhere. Oh, we need to get there we go. Oh yeah. That's the emergency stamp. For those that were wondering if it ever worked, it does. So what I'll do is
inventory full.
Oops. Actually, let's get rid of that stuff. We don't need half of it. Let me see. What do we not need? Look. Base CC. We need this, and we need a few of these. We don't need to have that. I do like my naming conventions. I know Splitsy uses something similar. Like when he does his cargo containers, it's usually CC, but it's shorter and it's easier to get to. So if you need to transfer stuff from one ship to the other, base CC, easier to type than base cargo container 1, whatever it is. And especially if you're under attack as well and you need to get rid of your resource, you need to be quick in your typing. So there's that as well. Let's get this. Up in. Floor 3. And then let's build out our room. And let's put that there as a start. I'll probably actually get... Wait. Oh. Is all the drilling ships gone? We had an accident where it brought some ships down as well. I don't know if they're going to be in the playback, but we'll see now in a second. Let's take a look. Right. Let's go in here. Do we have the... Please, 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 the wee drilling ship? I don't think it is. There is something here, is there? No. Oops. Oopsie daisies. Hi, mister. What's the crack with you? Just sitting there doing nothing, huh? You'd think you'd do something. It's just random lights laying all over the place. What is this? That was the drilling ship that we wanted. So let's get that. These. Right, what we'll do is we'll hop in here and let's go to builder, toggle block off, hop out, and let's get that projector in. Now the projector is going to be a bit tedious because I was a bit confused there. The projector is a bit tedious because you know how big the base is, so let's stick it in here like we said earlier on. I don't think I have any, and let's take a blueprint. There we go. Right, that's it for this episode. What we will try to do is we'll not bother with the projections of this base because they're more or less done. What we will do is we will begin doing, there's no point loading the projector until this is done, so this room is more or less done, so we'll leave it as that. Let's go into floor 3. And this is where we'll be starting. And this is where we'll do the operations room, so we do all those wee things that I was talking about, and the wee small projectors for doing the small base. So I'll leave it as that. So that will be the next episode. So we'll actually get the operations room finally built. Once the operations room is finally built with a chair, we need to put an antenna into the base to communicate with, well, I suppose with the base. We need to put a laser in. The laser will be pointing up towards the satellite. Once those wee things are done, what we can do is we can start building the satellite in here, because that is more or less ready to go. Once that's done, it goes up, and there's a ship that's part of it that gets built, and that'll blast it up. We fold it out, lock the rotors because we don't want the rotors to rotate, keep it pointing in this direction, make sure our laser is pointing with that laser. Once we get that connected up, what we'll do is we'll build that little base that I was talking about, the little porta cabin, one where we can put a rover inside. The rover is driven in, the whole thing is blasted up in space, and we landed on the moon, take the rover out and do some exploring. And I will get that pan tilt and zoom mod for space engineers that I was talking about earlier. But that's it, and a lot more to come. Yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.